Muya crystal. Luofeng and the other representatives were filled with suspicion. What exactly was this Muya crystal? Everyone looked towards Hong and Thunder God. Everyone here was an elite, even without saying a word. Just judging from their reactions, one could guess this Muya crystal was a treasure. It's called Muya crystal? A blonde, curly-haired representative from the European Union said. After eating one of the crystals, a horde leader monster was able to evolve straight to an emperor-level monster. If he ate more, wouldn't he get even stronger? Don't tell me that Monster Emperor came to be because it ate a crystal? Silence. The Earth's strongest fighters floating in that underground cavern were all silent. Hong and a few others knew that the Muya crystal was special and were extremely frustrated with the blonde representative that voiced it out. The blonde representative purposefully looked puzzled and suspicious. The five who knew of the crystal's special abilities all understood. The Monster Emperor only evolved to that stage because of the crystal. Yet, those who knew the secret did not want to divulge this, as chaos would break loose the moment they did. Monster Emperor. Right. This little lake definitely doesn't have the right environment to produce a Monster Emperor. It must be the Muya crystal. The Monster Emperor ate the crystal. The Earth Dragon King also ate that crystal. There must be plenty around. This misty island lake underground should still have more Muya crystals. Hurry up and find them. All kinds of quiet discussions had broken out amongst them. A great many of them even glanced from the side towards Hong, Thunder God, the five people who knew just to watch their reactions. Quickly. We have to go find the Muya crystals. Let's head out. Whether it was in English or in other various languages, the representatives were all calling out to their teammates or contacting their headquarters. Within a short amount of time, a large number of representatives were combing the underground lake or breaking through the rock stratum, beginning a mad search underground for the crystals. Totally different from before. Before, they were searching aimlessly without a solid target. Now their eyes were all lit with motive. Looking at those who represented the other powers leaving quickly, Hong and Thunder God shot each other a gaze. I bet that bastard intentionally said that. Thunder God said softly, nobody is an idiot. Hong was calm. Aren't you anxious? You need the crystal more than I do. Thunder God smiled. However, Hong turned straight to look at the three people behind him, Luofeng, Allure and Ice Mountain, ordering, there must be more Muya crystals in this underground lake. You all hurry and search. Yes, head. Luofeng and the other two complied. Go. Hong slightly nodded his head, before he himself rushed towards the underground lake, heading deeper down below. Luofeng expanded his spiritual energy to cover the underground city and rushed quickly deeper below. Head and Thunder God, and the others who know of the crystal's powers, never mentioned exactly what it does. Luofeng's expression was cold. Their silence only proves one thing. This Muya crystal definitely has the capability to drive people mad. To be able to get a universe treasure down on Earth was an extremely rare opportunity. Luofeng didn't dare to relax at all, swiftly searching. About 25 minutes later, Luofeng, a voice came from his tactical communications watch. Jia. Luofeng responded, congratulations, your head has just acquired a Muya crystal. It was however seen by 7 or 8 other people. Jia said, oh, Luofeng was a little shocked. It was barely half an hour and the second crystal was discovered, and acquired by Hong no less. After breaking the transmission, Luofeng focused harder on the search. The first crystal was eaten by a monster. The second was acquired by Hong. This underground place must have many more crystals. Another 16 minutes passed. Within the darkness of the rock stratum, the lake water flowed between the cracks of the rock stratum. A nauseous smell suddenly emanated from the rocks. Luofeng habitually took another whiff. Star travelers had a developed sense of smell, and this allowed Luofeng to detect within that nauseous smell a sense of that familiar rice smell from before. That's it. With the experience from before, Luofeng came to a conclusion. Over there. Luofeng's eyes lit up. Whoosh! The black helmet on his head became a drill and the soaring shuttle below him took off. Chi. The rock broke apart as though it was tofu, splitting apart away as Luofeng drilled through with amazing speed towards the fragrant smell. A loud mix of voices resounded with curse and swears in them. There were already a few Star Traveler warriors who had battled there, leaving big holes in the underground cave. Luofeng had rushed straight in, only to be rudely shocked when he discovered, at the side, a seemingly South Asian fighter had had his body split into two, lying on the rock floor. While his body was cleanly broken into 2 portions, with his big and small intestines lying outside, his upper half was still struggling. A short while after, all movement stopped. A silhouette scuttled over and kneeled beside him. Maha, you actually killed Maha? Representative Far, you people were too much. The 3 Indians were staring at the others in rage. On the other side stood 4 star travelers from the European Union. One single war god should obediently give up the Muya crystal. We would have spared his life that way. If you resist, you are looking for death. One of the 4 representatives from the European Union laughed coldly. All 4 were representatives, while the Indian side had only 2 representatives out of the 3 remaining. Luo Feng? Let's go. The European Union's 4 members noticed Luo Feng's arrival, immediately turning and drilling into the rock stratum, leaving swiftly. Bastard! The Indians gritted their teeth. They actually killed someone? Luo Feng looked at the corpse on the floor, before using his watch communicator to contact his head. Head, this is Luo Feng. Where I'm at. A European group just snatched a Muya crystal away from an Indian group, killing one of the Indian war gods in the process. They finally started killing. Hong's voice sounded through the communicator. Luo Feng. Within such a short time, each country's men have brushed against each other in this search. This is the first murder. You'd better be careful. This is a war between countries, not just one between the dojos. It can be cruel beyond comparison. Understood. Luo Feng answered softly, representing each country's fighters, fighting for the crystals. Even if they killed others, who was going to judge them? No one could. Luo Feng gazed at the group collecting the body, with insufficient power. Getting the treasure would only mean disaster. With that, he left. Late at night, 10:56, the first crystal was swallowed by the Earth Dragon, evolving it to the Earth Dragon King before being killed by Hong. Late night 11:31, the second crystal was discovered and acquired by Hong. Late night 11:47, the third crystal is discovered, acquired by a group from the European Union. Also, the first death has occurred. As such, whatever reservations everybody had before were now gone, and the search became more violent with more bloodshed. Late night 0:12, the fourth crystal is discovered and acquired by the American group. The American and Russian groups had a big battle for the crystal, resulting in 3 representatives being heavily injured. One of them had his internal organs destroyed. Luckily, he used the life water in time, or the team would have lost a representative. As time passed, every side got crazier. Late night 1:56, almost 2 hours since it began, the 5th and 6th crystals were discovered and acquired by Thunder God, while the other star travelers looked on with envy. They didn't dare challenge him. The 6th crystal has been acquired. Excluding the one eaten by the Earth Dragon, Earth's gathered forces of star travelers had already acquired a total of 5 crystals. What good luck, getting 2 crystals in one go. The underground cavern had been blasted open, with over 10 star travelers gazing at Thunder God and the 2 crystals emitting light from within his left hand. They were all green with envy, but even Hong, who was at the side, didn't attack. How could the rest of them attack? Head Hong, I'll be taking the lead. Thunder God laughed at Hong, who was rushing over. 2 of them? Hong shook his head helplessly. Go, continue the search. Hong turned and left. Beast and Luo Feng from the Dojo of Limits all left to continue their hunt. Beast, the most powerful royal guard, had only just arrived an hour ago. 5 crystals have been found, 1 for the head, 1 for the European Union, 1 for America and 2 for Thunder God. Luo Feng immediately drilled downwards. With one breath, he dug about 4,000 m deep, beginning his search at that level. Searching wise, Luo Feng, and the 4th representative Eastbourne are star traveler spirit readers. We should be the most adept at scanning, yet the both of us have yet to get a crystal. Luo Feng felt a sense of longing after seeing Thunder God and his 2 crystals. He began to focus and search more seriously. About half an hour later, Luo Feng's nose picked up a smell. Smelling again. Yes, it's the smell of rice. Luo Feng grew excited, rushing straight to where the smell emanated from. The search for the crystals had to be quick. The moment one hesitated, others would grab it away. Pooh! Breaking through a layer of rock, the sound of water gurgling could be heard. This was a place where water was flowing thinly through cracks, and when Luo Feng smashed through, the fragrant smell of rice emanated over. He turned, his pupils contracted from shock. My God! Luo Feng could feel his own heartbeat stop for a moment, blood rushing to his brain. Through the thin stream within the darkness, 3 white crystals were glowing faintly, floating and emanating a fragrant rice smell. 3 crystals! 3 Muya crystals! Luo Feng couldn't help but be shocked, and reached for the crystals immediately. The shapeless spirit energy became like a shapeless big hand, swiftly grabbing the crystals from 20 m away and keeping them. Pang! A loud rumble sounded. 3 silhouettes crashed through one after another through the rock stratum. One of them was the Ice Emperor M.O. Henderson, and 2 other representatives from the European Union. 3 Muya crystals. 3 of them. The 3 could barely see the shape of the 3 crystals as they landed in Luo Feng's grasp. It's mine. Luo Feng's glare was firm and apprehensive. Come. Luo Feng immediately took the 3 crystals into his black god set. Unless he was killed, they would never obtain the crystals. Luo Feng's directed an icy cold stare towards the 2 European Union representatives and then to the target from before, the 3rd chairman Ice Emperor M.O. Henderson. I'll be going first. Luo Feng transformed into a black light, drilling into the rock stratum.